This is Isaac Gomez here. I am currently attending South Suburban College, and I am a graduate of Illiana. So.
DJ Gladney. I got drafted by the Chicago White Sox last June. Also graduated Illiana last year.
It has been different for me. This is my first public school. I've always attended private school my whole life, and I'm still trying to get used to the new people I see every day.
For me, it's been quite challenging, especially that I'm only 18 and I'm kind of on my own for 6 months at a time. So I've been having to get used to being around older guys and guys from other countries.
Hi, I'm Riley Bennis. I'm a sophomore in computer engineering down at Purdue University. First off, going from a school of under 500 students to a school of 40,000 has been quite a jump for me, especially when being a public university, you're with a lot of people who aren't necessarily Christian. I go to school with Muslims, Hindus, Catholics, Jewish students, you name it, they're here. I started off my freshman year definitely holding on to those Illiana students that I was friends with, like Jason Scott, Tom Eriks, and I was roommates with Grace Boltema my freshman year. So that was kind of what I started off with right away, but it was definitely a rough start, and I feel like it is for any college student that has to live away from home, kind of finding all these new people after you made all those bonds with people in high school. All of a sudden having to find people who are relatively different than you, and befriending them. Maybe they're far away from home as well. It can be just, difficult on a person to start over again, basically, and make new relationships. So the transition was quite difficult at first, my freshman year, but since then I've joined plenty of groups and made a lot of friends in my classes. That's made the transition a lot smoother now that I'm a sophomore.
The transition from Illiana's environment to Trinity's environment has been a pretty easy transition. I feel like as far as Christian community, they have kind of a similar feel. There's definitely a different college schedule than a high school schedule, but I really enjoyed the college schedule and kind of the good changes that have been brought in from the transition from high school to college.
I would say the transition has gone pretty smoothly, going from Illiana to being a student at Purdue Northwest and working part-time. It's taken some adjusting, like having to study a lot more and becoming more independent with managing my own things that I have going on or things that I have to do. College student life has definitely had its ups and downs so far, but overall I'm really enjoying the opportunities presented to me as a civil engineering student.
So my transition from Illiana to post-high school life has been overall pretty good. I go to Washington University in St. Louis. It is definitely not a Christian university, and it's super challenging academically. And I would say all those things hit me pretty hard when I first got here. I didn't have a Christian group. I didn't have Christian friends. I didn't know how to really even go about doing college classes because it's extremely different. And so I struggled at first a lot. It took me a month to find Christian groups and Christian friends that I really actually connected with. It took me all the way up until this year to find a church that I love and really can find support there. And classes will always be a struggle, but it's definitely gotten a lot better. So I think, despite all those things, it's still been a really, really great experience that I'm so thankful to have.
To be honest, the transition wasn't easy. When most of you leave Illiana, you'll leave your support network like I did. It took a few months to get a handle on school, and to be honest, fall of freshman year was the driest period of my life spiritually. In November last year, I connected with a mentor from the Navigators. This campus ministry really helped me find my place here and get back into healthy spiritual habits.
What really surprised me was how inviting some people on my Steel Bridge team are. How they would spend their own time to make me feel included and to help me understand better the work that goes into the bridges that we're building. And another thing that really surprised me was how unmotivated people are to do their schoolwork. They want a degree but aren't willing to put in the work. At work as well, people are just as bad. They want their paychecks for doing absolutely nothing. And I really try to stick by working for God and viewing myself as working for God, not for men.
I was definitely surprised at the diversity of background that I experienced. Today I'm friends with Catholics, Muslims, Mormons, and atheists. Encountering all these differing opinions and worldviews is nothing to be scared of, because I realize now that Ileana gave me a great grounding to be able to meet that.
Thing that surprised me is definitely seeing new things I've never seen before. And another thing that surprised me is that my whole team is Latino and we all speak Spanish. There's no English being, spoken. And seeing people from different countries, from like Puerto Rico or the Dominican or something like that, is different for me.
For me, I would definitely say trying to interact with guys that are like 20 plus and guys that are like from different countries speaking Spanish, and just being able to, cope with them as a team.
So what has surprised me most about my college experience has been the people I've met. I have learned so much from all the different types of people here. My freshman year floor was super close and it really became my family, but most of those people we didn't have anything in common. So I got to learn about all different types of religions, belief systems, and practices that were totally different from mine. And I think that's extremely valuable. I was able to have conversations about issues that a lot of people believed the exact opposite of what I believed, and we were able to learn from each other. It's important to be able to have conversations with people about different things that you don't agree on, just to learn from each other, not to prove who's right or wrong. And that's something that I didn't think that I was going to be able to have in college, but I didn't think of it as a thing to strive for in college either. But it's been one of the best things about my college experience, and I'm really grateful to have had these experiences.
Definitely just the amount of people and the amount of different types of people I've met. I'm friends with people from China, I have a friend from Sri Lanka, South America, just like all these different people I didn't expect to meet that are just so different than me, but still like so cool, like doing the same things I want to do. I mean, engineering is a difficult major, all of the different concentrations of it. So finding people, especially girls, who want to do the same things I do, but are extremely different in where they grew up, what they believe in, has really surprised me a lot. And it's made my life open up, my worldview open up a lot, and kind of meeting all these different types of people.
It definitely hasn't. I still know who God is, and I still follow him. And especially it's easy when you have other players in the locker room that follow the same path as you. And every game, a lot of us get together and we just take a moment and pray. So,
It has not put a strain in my life. It honestly helped me grow in faith, because there's the players on my team. They're actually Christians, and some of them may be Catholic. And before every game, we pray for God to help us through this game. And I always tell my team, I refer back to Jeremiah 20:11, which reads, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future."
So I can't say yes or no to whether being post-high school life has put a strain on my relationship with God, because there's been a lot of ups and downs to this. I definitely had some struggles. I felt really lost and didn't know where God's place for me here was. I felt kind of abandoned at some points. But right as I was feeling these things, as I was struggling with this and trying to figure out who I should be and what I should be doing, God just became so much more real to me. Like, I never thought of God as my friend, but he's become one of my best friends since I've left high school. And that's been absolutely amazing. I can't imagine how our relationship was before. I realized just how much God listens to me and how much he cares about me. Like, there will be something as simple as my favorite drink being in the cafeteria to getting a job that has everything that I ever wanted in it. And that's a few of the things that God's done for me, and he just does things like that for me every day. I can just tell that exactly what I wanted, what I asked for. He's already there listening to me by my side, trying to make sure I have the best day possible. And if that's not absolutely amazing, I don't know what is. So I think that the struggles I had, I needed to have them so I could realize there's so many areas in my life that I wasn't letting God into and that I needed to. And finding those broken spots, it does involve strain and struggle and a lot of pain. But the results have been great.
I still go to church. I found a church down here. It is a CRC church as well, and I go there every Sunday with Tom Erickson, now Austin Clark. And so keeping that relationship with God, it's been good. Our pastor's actually from Highland. So that's pretty cool, kind of having that connection. I also am a part of InterVarsity, which is a campus ministry. We do Bible studies every week, as well as a large group and different events every once in a while. So I've still tried to definitely work on my relationship with God. However, being super busy as a college student, I can't necessarily make it to every single meeting, every single event because of homework, and I'm also part of different groups that also have meetings and other things during these times. So I definitely think that high school, Ileana specifically, helped grow me by just surrounding me with Christianity all the time, and being at a public university, you kind of have to have some incentive yourself to do it and go to different events. So if anything, that would be the strain, is just having to do it individually at this point rather than be guided by people around you necessarily.
I would say it definitely has put a strain, but I tend to get very stressed when I have lots of things going on, lots of schoolwork to do. I don't do as well as on a quiz as I should or as I want to, and even if I don't get put in a good position at work when I'm there. I doubt God's goodness in these times and really am in need of a constant reminder that His plan, not mine, is the greatest for my life.
For me, it was finding good friends that are believers. If you're going to college, find good Christian friends to room with. These people will be by you where you spend most of your time. And if you're entering the workforce, if at all possible, connect with believers at work. Surround yourself with Christians, because who you spend time with is who you become.
So back to the thing with InterVarsity, definitely going to a small group Bible study. I'm in a small group with other engineering students where we just go through the Word and do an in-depth kind of Bible study, highlighting words that we may not know and ask questions, and that's what we do there. And then a large group, we also do things similarly to that, and we also do other events. Kind of playing games. Sometimes people will invite their non-Christian friends as well to just play games with everyone, get to know each other, do some icebreakers, all that sort of stuff. So I think that definitely that group has helped me, as well as all the Ileana students that are still here with me, that join me in these types of events, join me at church. All these different things have helped me definitely stay close to God and kind of navigate college by keeping me grounded.
Or a lot of our teammates pray before games. That's just something we all kind of just do. And my mom also sends me daily quotes about God, and it actually helps me keep me on the right track.
I read my Bible every night, and I listen to, while I do my homework, I listen to sermons, and sometimes people make fun of me on my team because I listen to them, but it helps me keep my faith in God.
So there's a lot of advice I could give you, like get sleep, take care of yourself. But so the biggest thing I have, I guess, is to trust God. Talk to Him every day, every single day, because you will need Him every day. Trust His plan for you, because inevitably everything's going to fall apart at some point. It always does. Trust me, it always does. It'll fall apart. And you want to be able to fall on somebody that can actually support you, and the only person who can really give you everything you need when you feel like you have nothing left is God. So just stay in communication with Him, understand where He wants you to go, so you can still have your peace, so you can still have joy even in the roughest moments.
The advice I would give to somebody entering a similar environment as mine next year, first of all, congratulations, you made it. It's going to be a super exciting time in your life. Enjoy every moment. It goes so fast. It's crazy because everybody tells you that, but once you're in it, you really realize that it just flies by, and you realize it'll probably be over way before you know it. Get involved. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Try new things, and then really just make new friends. Like, even if you go to college somewhere where you know a lot of people from high school or from other things, do your best to make new friends, get to know new people.
Well, to anyone who wants to come to Purdue, I highly encourage it. If you are afraid of stepping out of your Christian bubble, to say going to a public university for the first time, it definitely is a wake-up call, but I definitely recommend it because the world out there, the big world, once you go to try to get a job someday, is not necessarily all going to be some CRC Christians. You're going to be with people who are of different religion, different race, ethnicity, culture. You need to be used to these types of people, otherwise you're going to not know how to handle it as an adult. So like being able to come to a college like Purdue and meet all these people now and befriend these people definitely prepares you for the future when they're your coworkers, they're your friends. You definitely, need to prepare yourself for that. And you definitely can get that experience at a private university, but like at a public university, like you are forced to. Like Christianity isn't at the forefront of a public university necessarily. While there is a church on Purdue's campus and plenty of Christian organizations, there are Muslim organizations, there are Jewish organizations, there are things for everyone here, and kind of meeting these people and befriending these types of people definitely, I think, is a big plus. Coming to a college like this and having those experiences definitely will prepare you for the real world once you graduate and have to find a job somewhere. So I definitely would recommend that, or a different public university or a private university, whatever you prefer. But yeah, just don't be afraid to befriend people who are different than you, because you can learn a lot from them and they can learn a lot from you too.
Definitely staying true to who you are. There's going to be people in the world that's going to want to bring you down, especially in the changes of environment that you will go into. So definitely staying true to who you are is some advice I would give.
Keep your faith in God, especially if you're going into a public school like me. It's definitely difficult to keep your faith in God, and I would say always read your Bible every night and know that God is there by your side through everything.
First of all, I want to say you've been preparing for this. Now is the time you're getting ready to face the world. In a few months or years, you're going to find out how strong your roots are. As Psalm 1 says, be a tree planted by streams of water. You will not have good roots if you are not next to a stream. Find a good network of people. Wherever you go, find a good church, find good friends, and find good Christian groups to grow with.
I would say watch who you become friends with. Watch who you let influence you in that way. And I would say be conscious about who you're representing with the name Christian. That how you act is how people are going to generalize Christians, I would say. And also don't let a bad environment influence you to become like that. Be in the world as a light, not of it, I would say. Lastly, I would say remember God is faithful no matter what. Even if life makes absolutely no sense.